Hey, Trailblazers! What if I told you there's a place in America where the population is nearly half Black? A place that isn't just a statistic, but a modern-day capital of Black American culture, history, and influence. Welcome to Mystic Trails. But before we dive into our countdown, here's a little trivia for you. Which U.S. state has the largest total number of Black residents? Think about it, and we'll reveal the answer at the very end of the video. Now, it's easy to think of states with the largest total number of Black residents. But today, we're doing something different. We are counting down the top 10 Blackest states in America based on the percentage of the population that identifies as Black or African American. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 10 is New York. With 17.6% of its population identifying as Black or African American, New York is a titan of Black culture and history. While many people immediately think of New York City, the story is statewide. The state was a critical artery of the Underground Railroad, with places like the Harriet Tubman National Historical Park in Auburn preserving that legacy. Of course, you can't talk about Black culture in New York without mentioning Harlem, the epicenter of a world-changing renaissance that gave us artistic geniuses and intellectual giants. From the birthplace of hip-hop in the Bronx to being the home of Shirley Chisholm, the first African-American congresswoman, New York's influence on Black American life is simply monumental. In the number 9 spot is the Commonwealth of Virginia, with 20.76% of residents are Black. Virginia holds a unique and powerful position as the starting point of Black history in America, with the first enslaved Africans arriving at Point Comfort in 1619. This deeply complex history, from the capital of the Confederacy in Richmond to the Fortress of Freedom at Fort Monroe, has forged a resilient and vibrant culture. The Richmond slave trail tells a painful but necessary story, while institutions like Hampton University, one of the nation's premier HBCUs, represent centuries of progress and excellence. From Maggie Walker, the first woman to charter a bank in the U.S., to the thriving cultural scene in Jackson Ward, known as the Harlem of the South, Virginia's Black history is American history. At number 8, we have North Carolina, with a Black population of 21.61%. This state was a crucible for the civil rights movement. On February 1st, 1960, 4 Black university students in Greensboro sat down at a whites-only Woolworth's lunch counter and refused to leave, sparking a wave of sit-ins that spread across the nation. That spirit of activism and change is embedded in the state's DNA. Today, cities like Charlotte and the Research Triangle area are hubs of Black professional and economic growth, attracting families from across the country. With a deep history of struggle and a future bright with opportunity, North Carolina is a powerful force on our list. Coming in at number 7 is Delaware. Don't let its small size fool you. With a Black population of 23.66%, Delaware proves that influence isn't about acreage. Its position between the North and South gave it a unique and complex history. It was a slave state that sided with the Union in the Civil War, creating a complicated social landscape. The heart of Black culture here is in Wilmington, the state's largest city, which has a rich history as a stop on the Underground Railroad. Delaware State University, an HBCU in the capital, Dover, is a cornerstone of the community, fostering leadership and opportunity. Its high percentage of Black residents gives Delaware a powerful voice and a distinct cultural identity that earns it a solid place on our list. Next, at number 6, we have South Carolina, where Black residents make up 25.5% of the population. The history of South Carolina is inseparable from the history of its African American community. Charleston was a major port for the transatlantic slave trade, and it's here that the Gullah Geechee people of the Low Country have preserved a unique culture and language with direct links to West Africa, making the state a vital touchstone for African heritage in America. This is also a state with a long history of resistance. From the Stono Rebellion in 1739, one of the earliest slave uprisings, to the modern era. Today, from its world-renowned cuisine to its influential political landscape, the vibrant force of South Carolina's Black communities is felt everywhere. Before we jump into the top 5, if you're enjoying this journey and maybe learning something new, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you've got a story or a connection to any of the states we've mentioned, drop it in the comments below. We love reading them. All right, who's ready for the top 5? Let's do it. Kicking off our top 5 is Alabama, with 26.76% of its residents identifying as Black. Alabama's history is both deeply painful and profoundly powerful. No state is more central to the story of the civil rights movement. The streets of Montgomery, Selma, and Birmingham were the stages for some of the most pivotal moments in American history. From Rosa Parks and the Montgomery bus boycott, to the march from Selma that led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That legacy of struggle has forged an unbreakable spirit. Today, cities like Birmingham are experiencing a renaissance, driven by a thriving Black middle class, and HBCUs like Tuskegee University, founded by Booker T. Washington, stand as enduring symbols of Black educational excellence. Our number 4 spot goes to Maryland, where the Black population makes up an impressive 31.72% of all residents. Maryland is a fascinating blend of Southern history and Northeastern economic might. As a border state during the Civil War, its identity has been unique for over 150 years. Baltimore, its largest city, has been a major center of Black life and culture for centuries, giving us trailblazers like Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American Supreme Court Justice. Maryland is also home to some of the most affluent Black communities in the nation, especially in Prince George's County, which is often cited as one of the wealthiest majority Black counties in the U.S. This economic power, combined with a rich cultural heritage and premier HBCUs like Morgan State and Bowie State, makes Maryland a true powerhouse of Black influence and success. Cracking the top 3, Georgia, a state that has become a modern-day mecca for Black Americans. With a Black population of 32.29%, Georgia's impact on Black culture is simply massive. This is especially true of its capital, Atlanta. Often called the Black Hollywood, or even Wakanda, Atlanta is a global hub for Black business, music, film, and politics. It's a city where Black-owned businesses thrive, and its cultural output, especially in hip-hop, has defined a generation. But Georgia's significance runs much deeper. As the birthplace of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it was a nerve center for the civil rights movement. Today, that legacy of activism continues, as the state has become a major political battleground where the Black vote is incredibly powerful and decisive. Our number 2 spot takes us to the bayous of Louisiana, where the population is 33.22% Black. There's no place in America quite like Louisiana. Its unique Creole and Cajun cultures are a direct result of its French, Spanish, and West African history, creating a cultural gumbo that is famous worldwide. The city of New Orleans, in particular, is a cradle of Black American culture. It's the birthplace of jazz, the uniquely American art form that grew from the African rhythms carried by enslaved people. Cities like New Orleans and Baton Rouge have majority or near-majority Black populations that drive the state's cultural engine. From Mardi Gras to its legendary food scene, the influence of Black Louisianans is undeniable. And now for the number 1 spot, Mississippi. the state with the highest percentage of Black residents in the United States. Standing at an incredible 38.49% Black, Mississippi holds a title of immense historical and cultural weight. The history here is heavy. Mississippi was the heart of the Cotton Kingdom and the brutal realities of slavery, and later became one of the most intense battlegrounds of the Civil Rights era. But out of that profound struggle has come an equally profound cultural richness. Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music, giving the world the blues, a genre born from the spirituals and work songs of African Americans in the Mississippi Delta. The state's capital, Jackson, is one of the blackest big cities in America, with over 80% of its residents being African American. Today, Mississippi's Black population continues to define the state's identity, wielding significant political power and preserving a cultural heritage that has influenced the entire world. But wait, we promised you a countdown of the top 10 states. There is, however, one place that isn't a state, but has an even higher percentage of Black residents. As a special bonus, we have to talk about Washington, D.C. Latest estimates show the nation's capital has a Black population of 43.78%. For decades, D.C. was famously known as Chocolate City, a place where Black residents made up a clear majority of the population. Washington, D.C. is so much more than the seat of government. It's a city with its own deep and powerful Black history. It was home to a thriving community of free Blacks long before the Civil War, and became a beacon for former slaves seeking opportunity. Howard University, right in the heart of the city, is often called the Mecca of HBCUs, and stands as one of the most prestigious Black educational institutions in the world. The culture of DC is unmistakable, from its iconic go-go music to its vibrant neighborhoods. While demographic shifts are changing the city, its identity as a historic and modern center of Black life, culture, and power remains undisputed. So there you have it, the top 10 blackest states in America, with Mississippi taking the top spot, plus our powerhouse bonus, Washington, D.C. This list paints a clear picture. The core of Black American culture, history, and population density is firmly planted in the South, a region transformed by the very people it once oppressed. And now, for the answer to our trivia question. The state with the largest total number of Black residents is actually Texas, with nearly 4 million Black residents. It just goes to show the fascinating difference between total numbers and population percentage. What did you think of our list? Were you surprised? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mystic Trails, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another one of our deep dives. Thanks for watching.